Hello friends, and welcome back to Skyrim Mods of the Moment, a monthly video series where I'll showcase the most interesting new mods available. I'm Bard's College graduate at your service, and now let's check out the first mod on the list today. Nyx's Floating Islands of Whiterun is an environmental mod that adds these mysterious, gravity-defying islands on top of the Whiterun tundra. For those new to the Elder Scrolls, Skyrim might seem like a relatively tame fantasy world, aside from all those dragons threatening to enter the world, while the lore of Nirn goes absolutely crazy at times, so who's to say that there can't be floating islands? Some may catch the inspiration behind the mod that is World of Warcraft's Nagrand Zone, and this combo of Skyrim and WoW alone makes me feel right at home. Right now, the islands are only for aesthetics, so there's actually nothing to do on them, aside from being useful for sightseeing the Whiterun Hold. Now, let's travel to the island of Solstheim, where we'll be checking out JK's Raven Rock. JK Rojmal has been steadily delivering incredible visual overhauls throughout the years, and this mod is no different in that regard. At the core, it's an enhanced town overhaul mod, adding a lot of details around Raven Rock, including new buildings and NPCs to make the town properly come alive. As you can see, it also adds completely new walls around the settlement, as well as a lighthouse that makes sense by the port. You can now enter Raven Rock from 3 guard-secured entrances and walk along the walls to take in the beautiful Morrowind landscape. By the port, there are new buildings, a home to a dock worker, and an abandoned East Empire Trading Company warehouse, as they have ceased mining there. By the market, there are a lot of details added to make it look more busy and interesting, as well as a new deck constructed for the Retching Niche Tavern. At the temple, you can appreciate the statues of Boethia and Azura, and oh, there are huge mushrooms everywhere, appropriate for Morrowind for sure. I think a modern Skyrim absolutely requires simulated physics, and especially armor physics, and that's what HDT-SMP Vanilla Armors is here to do. It adds realistic cloth physics to the majority of the base game and DLC armors, and it really brings these vanilla armors to life, as they feel more natural as they sway and react to any movement you're making. Finally! No more stiff armors that feel glued to your character. There are 2 options available in the download files. One enables physics for all armors, including those worn by NPCs, while the other is a more performance-friendly version that applies physics only to your armor and those worn by your followers. Now, let's check out something for the magic enjoyers. Immersive Illusion Spells is a mod that adds 16 interesting new spells for the Illusion School of Magic, so you can properly manipulate and play with your enemies' minds. For example, there's a spell to distract your enemy to think they heard something. A spell for seeing through your target's eyes. A spell to make your enemy lose their balance and fall to the ground. Spells to create powerful and distracting illusions of your target, and even a spell to possess the mind of your adversary and take full control of them. The full spell list can be found in the mod description, and I think all of them make an illusionist playthrough much better, as this school has been largely underutilized in the game. These spells can be simply found around in the game world or bought from mages and cast no projectile, as they're more sneaky and instantly affect the mark. The next mod is related to magic as well, but also brings some good immersion, so let's check it out. Put Out the Fire's Dynamic Fire Control System. This mod allows you to take full control of fire by extinguishing it and reigniting it with the appropriate spells. Frost, wind and water spells puts the fire out, while fire spells set something on fire, obviously. And if you've been wondering why all the ruins have lit braziers, now you can choose an option to have them all extinguished and light them up yourself while delving in the dungeons. In the mod configuration menu, you can also enable an option to make fire deal damage, which adds that additional immersion and combat potential to push someone to fire. From the same author, we also have dynamic candles, blow them out and light again. This mod is quite self-explanatory, as you can now blow out and relight all the different candles found in the game world. When playing games such as Baldur's Gate 3 or The Witcher 3, I'm always focused on lighting all the candles I can find, so this one is a must-have, at least for myself. There must be people who relate, right? These two mods make the environments with fire feel more realistic and fun, even though they're admittedly just a small part of the game. Now, let's check out Argonian Funerary masks. This mod took me by surprise when I saw it on Nexus, as new Argonian mods are just too rare to come by and very welcome in my opinion. This mod adds wooden, lore-friendly Argonian masks with different color options, which are based on Bog Blight masks from the Elder Scrolls Online. I think these masks look simply incredible, and if you want one for your Argonian or character of any race in fact, the masks can be acquired by crafting them at the forge. Alright, are you guys up for an audio mod? Those I do not showcase too often, but now I think this one needs a shout out. Whispers of the Daedric Princess. This mod adds lore-friendly, eerie whispers of the Daedric Princess, which can be heard at their respective shrines and statues. They are voiced by the mod author and an additional voice actor, and they may be difficult to understand at first, but if you listen closely, you can hear them whisper some intriguing phrases. So creepy, I love it! There's also the option in the foe mod to silence the princess' voices after completing their respective quests, which is a neat add-on. Let's check out another creepy mod next, that is Hag, Occult Witchmist Grove. This is another location overhaul by this author that makes a Hagraven nest look and feel even more frightening and downright sinister, this time the Witchmist Grove. In vanilla, the grove is just a shack surrounded by a wooden barricade, so the changes made by this mod are very welcomed. Now, there is a huge dead tree overlooking the area, and it's protected by rock walls with a henge-style entrance to the nest, making the location absolutely creepy and delightfully unique. Just one more creepy mod, so bear with me please. Let's check out Unmarked Locations Pack, Apocrypha. This is another entry to the Unmarked Locations mod series, and this time, Hermaeus Mora's Realm of Oblivion, Apocrypha has been filled with additional details. The mods of this series are designed to make exploring Skyrim environments more interesting, with added locations containing loot and unique interactions and encounters, and here in Apocrypha, there are now 10 new creepy locations to explore. Staying faithful to the theme of this realm, there are also added manuscripts and rare books that are completely lore-friendly. This is a very different entry to this mod series in a good way, and I think this mod makes Apocrypha have more variety, and experiencing it is awesome while visiting this particular corner of Oblivion. Next we have Common Clothing Retexture SE. This mod retextures most, if not all, of the clothing that you can find in the game, including those that come with the DLCs and Creation Club. The mod author aimed to maintain the original look of the clothes, but also took some creative liberties to enhance some of them. This can be seen in how clothes worn by nobles are more colorful, while those worn by workers may appear dirtier and less saturated to emphasize their lower societal status. This mod is a great modern take on vanilla clothes by the royalty of attire retextures and replaces rustic clothing for me that has served well these past years. Next, let's check out two interesting player homes. First off, we have the Wizard's Oculory. This is most of all a home for a mage, one where you get everything you need under one roof, as the mod author describes it. This home is located deep underground in the mountains of Reach, but conveniently, there is an access to it at the mountain that hugs Winterhold in its grasp. And that access to it being a wardrobe. Well, let's climb right in. First, we're greeted with the sight of a beautiful high room, the viewing room, where this beautiful prism rune makes sure that their garden below would never wilt away. The Oculory Garden is a magical place where you can harvest useful plants for ingredients, and around it, there are some stone beds for companions. Moving on, in the main hall, you can find all main crafting stations, each in their areas of study, plenty of safe storage space, and a cozy nook for studying. Finally, there's the bedroom where the magic happens, but this time quite literally. There is a custom crafting stations available that lets you combine gems to create a larger gem to hold an even larger soul. Never seen this sort of thing before. That is quite useful. The Wizard's Oculory is a unique home that I think will loyally serve a mage of any kind as a hidden hideout. The second player home I'm featuring today is Helgen Cabin, no loading screen starter home. This player home is located just down the path from the Helgen Cave by the lake Ilinalta. Here, this small home is the perfect one to start off your game, as it contains the bare necessities for the beginning of your journey: crafting stations, custom containers, and a farm with a scarecrow. This home actually has no loading screen, which makes it a bit more accessible. Inside, this cabin is so cute and cramped in a good way. There is a lot of clutter and decoration, which makes it feel super warm and cozy inside. The stained window glass is beautiful, and the patio is perfect for taking in the sun and cultivating your garden. There's also a campfire to sit at and cook some freshly hunted meat on the fire. To put it simply, Helgen Cabin is a great starter home for any type of character. To get the access to this home, you'll need to find a dead person nearby who's written everything you need to know in this note. In the previous video, we visited Hammerfell and found the legendary Grey Coal of Nocturnal. Go check that one out if you haven't yet. Now, it's only fitting we're taking a look at Hammerfell imports, Pedlars of Tamriel. This is another great mod by Mihail, known for his diverse creature mods, and this time he brings Redguard merchants patrolling the trade route between Hammerfell and Skyrim to the game. These peddlers travel by their trusty camel and dromedary and can be found on the route between Markarth to Whiterun and Markarth to Ivarstead. They're selling a wide variety of goods from their homeland.
Roshan has fallen to the raid,
including new weapons, shields, clothes, ingredients, many different foods, potions, and all kinds of decorative items which you can place in your home to make it look more interesting. There's also some beautiful Hammerfell-style instruments. Do I even need to say it? This bard loves it. From the same mod author, we also have Rotten Mudcrabs, Mihail monsters and animals. This mod adds a new kind of mudcrabs in the game, those pesky little shore dwellers that can be found everywhere in Tamriel. These new crabs added by the mod are a bit creepier though, as they are zombified with their shells cracking and fungus growing on them. Be careful while engaging with them, as their scratches can contract swamp fever, a nasty disease that reduces your weapon skills by 50%. Now, let's check out some incredible new armors that have come out recently. First off, we have Ancient Imperial Armor SE. This mod is another fourth unknown masterpiece, created with a meticulous eye for detail and sense of direction. No, I can't help the glazing, it's just that amazing. The mod actually comes with two armors, a light armor and heavy armor version, which differ from each other with small changes, and there are also theme-appropriate sword and shield included. These beautiful pieces can be found in old Imperial forts such as Fort Greymore, or you can just use the console or add item menu or such mods to add the armor to your character's inventory. Next, we have Master Thief Armor. This incredibly cool, lore-friendly armor is inspired by the Thieves Guild, and it can actually be also used for replacing the Thieves Guild armor in the game. It's a detailed leather armor with a hood casting a shadow on your face, throwing knives belted on the thigh, and other elements that make it look simply fantastic. This light armor comes in 3 subtle colors: black, brown and green, and you can install an optional HDT patch to have these physics on it. You can either craft it at the Skyforge, or just, again, add it by console commands or add item menu. Don't go anywhere yet, there's still one mod that is probably one of the cutest things I've ever seen. Here, let me introduce Piglet, the courageous piggy companion.
Oink!
This is a follower mod featuring the cutest, smallest, most lovable little pig, Piglet. He loves a good adventure with the Dragonborn and is eager to help by carrying your surplus stuff, preferably any fresh vegetables. He can fight too and won't ever perish in a battle, as he's marked as essential. You can find this stinkingly cute little thing at Riverwood, where he's more than ready to join your journey.
Oink!
For those who want to support my video making efforts, watch extra content, and gain access to the private Discord, check out patreon.com/bardscollegegraduate. My thanks to Eric Slagenweit, Big Wang, Billy Duncan, Dodepunker, Frank Brackett, OnSureFlyer15, Ryan Ulrich, and the Panicked Monk, as well as my other Patreon supporters whom I appreciate the most. Thank you so much for watching the video. See ya!